All right, everyone. Welcome to the NOVRITSCH podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have Marc here from actually doing many things, right? You're running Battle Arena and Taginn as well. So maybe you can introduce yourself real quick, like who you are and how, like what's your relation to these companies.
Yeah, my name is Marc Butman, and what I'm doing, I'm running all the international part of Taginn, Tactical Game Innovation Company, and the Battle Arena that you have mentioned before is
Mm-hmm.
one of the projects that's just being run within the Tactical Game Innovation Company. We have
Mm-hmm.
more things that we're doing over Airsoft or just hobbies, but it's not really related to this podcast. I think.
Mm-hmm. You're in St. Petersburg right now, you said, right?
Yeah, I'm now in St. Petersburg, Russia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually, we have a few locations for the company. Just in Russia, we have two locations. St. Petersburg, it is our international quiet office.
Mm-hmm. For
It's
Battle
here we
Arena or for Taginn? Or
for
are
tagging.
these offices
It's
shared?
for tagging. And Battle Arena is actually the headquarters sitting in Moscow.
Mm-hmm.
I will talk about it a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
And our factory is split. The main part is in Vladimir City. In Russia, it's something like 2 hours driving from Moscow with no traffic jam. With Moscow traffic jams, like 5 hours driving.
Which I've experienced. It's horrible.
Yeah. And the second part of the factory is in Riga, which is in Latvia, in Europe.
Mhm.
And we are producing our stuff here and there. What we're doing for Europe, done in
Mm.
Latvia, and everything we are doing for Russia and United States, or the rest of the world, we manufacture and shipping from Russia.
Mm.
Now,
Okay,
yeah,
let's talk a bit about tagging. Like for the, I think most people have seen it, but maybe you can a quick rundown of what's tagging. Like what are these products about? What is the company about?
okay. Tactical Game Innovation is the company that actually growth from two main products.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Not like it's already more than 10 years. For the first product, it was the hand grenade that actually made of the polyurethane, foamed one.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing in this new invention was that actually when something, it's pyrotechnical product, and if you put in the pyrotechnical element within the foam polyurethane in any shape, and it's going off, you can first of all fill it with everything you want, starting with BBs, finishing with 50 caliber paintballs, or just liquid paint, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
going off, and fragments are not harmful.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, it's a safe product, uh, which you even can explode in your hand with no any circumstances. Actually, I did it a lot of time on the video.
Have you done it yourself?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
like
How did
in
it feel?
company we testing everything on one person.
That's you.
Yes, if you will
Show
find,
show
if
me
you
your
will
hand.
find,
Show me your hand. Are all your fingers still working?
yeah,
Wow. Still on
they
there.
even real one, not artificial. Yeah. Okay, the second product was projectiles. It was
Mm-hmm.
projectile. We're calling it today Reaper. It was the
Mm-hmm.
first one, and actually, the situation in airsoft was like um, we having the beautiful weapons, like or weapons like things. If we're talking about shooting something that changing bullets in the real life, we're talking about BBs. Everything was pretty okay with it because Tokyo Marui started this process. I mean, shooting uh, wide BBs for a distance of something like 50, 60 meters
Mm.
um, while ago. So if you've had a dream to be a grenadier and you wanted to run with something like M203 underbar grenade launcher, so you've had a choice to buy it, to put this beautiful thing on your gun, but the only thing you could do is to take the can with 200 BBs and shoot them for 20, 25 meters. And when we have seen it for the first time, it was ridiculous because it's like you have such a big gun that you're going to dominate now on the field, and then it's making tough. So we thought how we can fix it, and actually we found a way to use the same foam polyurethane material to make the projectile. Okay, it was the entire story, how we tested it for the first time, how we tried to approve it with Russian authorities, because actually you're inventing the thing that you bring into the civilian market, and you're saying, okay, we're putting this 30-gram thing into the barrel of grenade launcher, shooting it something like 100 meters, it was a little bit less, it's hitting somebody's body and then going off actually on this body, pyrotechnically, like making boom with fire and smoke. And the first reaction of everybody, including the players and the authorities that had to approve it, saying, you guys went nuts. It will never work in the game. Okay, it's like, okay, so bring the tank and play Airsoft. By the way, you already played the Airsoft on tank, so it's not a big deal as well, as it turned. So we have passed all that, and things.
How long did that take? Like from having the idea to actually, going into prototype, because you can't do it from a legal standpoint. Like how long did it take?
It was pretty fast. The R&D took something like R&D. It's now we have R&D department. Like we have engineers that's sitting with computers and math machines that they just calculating things, physics, math, and everything. But there, R&D,
I like how you describe it. There's a guy sitting doing math and physics and all that crap.
Yeah, you know that yourself. You started your manufacturing line as well.
Yeah, but it's funny you say it because it's the bread and butter of your company to basically shoot a projectile at a couple hundred meters.
Yeah, but I'm trying to explain you what is R&D department when you started something. It's like sitting in the kitchen with beer,
agree,
without the T-shirt and thinking like writing something in the notepad, and then going down to the garage and starting to mix things together, and with masking tape and and metal wires, and just with all these polyurethane, that everything is full of polyurethane all around on the walls, on the floor. And then somebody's wife coming and say, "What the hell are you doing here?" So it was an R&D department of Taginn back then. Yeah. So it took something like, answering your question, by the way, because we moved pretty far from the question itself. It took something like half a year.
Half a year from idea to production.
Yeah. Do you want to hear how much does it took for improving in the United States for first product?
That's actually more interesting, because I think the laws in the United States I can refer, I think, more to than the ones in Russia. So how long did that take?
Just guess.
Well, it depends on how you try to make it legal. If you actually said, okay, you're supposed to shoot this at someone's body, or did you just say?
I tried to do it something like 27 hours in a day.
Huh? 27 hours.
27 hours in a day
to get it legalized.
Yeah.
So how is it classified? Like, in which product category does it go?
No, first of all, I'll tell you how long did it take. It
Yeah,
took 4.5 years.
yeah.
Yeah, 4.5 years of work, 27 hours a day.
Oh, that's how. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I can imagine, as you said, like if you explain this to someone, they just say, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like, no way, you're gonna make a product that shoots at people and explodes." It sounds ridiculous. And even when, maybe I can share a bit here of my first time seeing a tagging grenade and how I felt about it. It was in America at Iron Horse, Operation Iron Horse from American Milsim. And I've never seen these things before. Like I've never heard about them. I've never seen them. And I just during a game, I see a guy, you know, there's like a building 150 meters away, and you see someone smiling in there and holding his gun out, and the guy just points his gun there, lobs it a bit, and I hear a noise that I have never heard before in Airsoft. Like just I've never heard it. It's this
Whoop.
bloop, bloop, exactly. And then I see this. It's this thing. Like I didn't even realize, but I was like, is this guy shooting like a real grenade? Like what's happening? And it flies into this building, and I see a fireball, like a fireball in the window. Yeah, it actually hit the frame of the window.
Yeah,
And I was just, what is this even? I've never seen this before. Is this even allowed in the game, or did this guy just bring something that's absolutely illegal? I was terrified of it, honestly.
yeah. It was the first reaction of everybody when they seen it for the first time. I'll tell you the story how it been legalized here in Russia.
Yeah,
So here you don't have to understand, but what we have here that time, 10 years ago, it was the testing facility with the principal, with the head engineer that actually was something like 65 years old. We calling them red directors back from Soviet Union. And actually, he came when he coming into the office. Everybody is just staying from the desk and just looking inside of his mouth. He's starting to tell something. People are shaking. Okay, and then sitting back to the desks and keep working. So when we came for the first time, this guy just entered the office and came to our box with these little things and saying, "What the hell is that?" So someone trying to sell this thing that the guys wanting to test with us. I saying, "Shut up! I'm asking him." So I'm saying this is the projectile that's supposed to travel for 100 meters and then go off somewhere. So it will not fucking work at all. We're saying not. It's just working. We already shot more than 200 pieces. Everything is working. He said, "Okay, I'm coming with you to the testing field." So he came with us, and we just fed the first one, shot it. It went for traveled for 100 meters, went off somewhere there, and saying, "Okay, it's working." Then turning and coming out. People are starting to stare on us without saying a word. We see like what? Say it was the first time he told word okay. So yeah, it's the thing that actually changing the approach to what you used to see. Yeah,
it definitely expanded the limit. Yeah, it broke the limits of Airsoft and
yeah,
brought it to
and then we've
a different
had
level.
feedbacks like the people are coming and saying, okay, if we've been needing to spend some like 50, 60 players, send them to respond to take some bunker, and now we can put 3, 4 grenadiers, and then the guys that campering inside the bunker are just walking out. For the first 1 or 2 years, it was like magic for everybody because we didn't have a lot of possibilities to produce as much products as the market wanted because we've had some few guys that just made it by hand. We didn't have all the machines that we have now, and it was really limited. And then people just chased after this product and asked us to make more and more. And it was like an amazing thing when someone coming, and you have to understand that Russia is 140 million people, and then it's really big, biggest country in its area, and we have a lot of cities, and we've been sending a lot of our products to different cities. We try to make a quotations for every region. So overall, there wasn't enough products in every region. It was a very rare thing. And then when people were coming with our products to the game, it was mostly the first time that people seen it on the in the game. And then for the first 1.5, 2 years, we just enjoyed the reaction of the first time seeing people.
Yeah. You know, I admire how you had this idea and you didn't just say, okay, that's never gonna be allowed, let's ditch it, but you actually pushed it through. Because if you would have asked me, you know, if you would present this idea to me and say, yo, I have this idea, do you think this is ever gonna be allowed? Honestly, I would say, I don't think this is ever gonna pass any law, and I don't think this is ever gonna be allowed at any game. And we've seen this with some products. When you look at, for example, the 40 mic from Airsoft Innovations, like this thing is getting banned from games. There's been injuries with it, and I think there's more fields that don't allow it than fields that actually allow it. So it does happen in Airsoft that people say, okay, this product is going a step too far, and we put it as part of the rules because it's too tough. So the fact that you pushed something that's flying and explosive through, and it's allowed it at least on the major milsims, I think that's, you know, I
Yeah,
pull my head from you.
Yeah, you mentioned fields that allowing things and not allowing things.
Yeah.
In this hobby, actually, it's pretty much like in any hobby. You have more orthodox businesses and more businesses that's running with the time. I mean, that they are modern and allowing to add more things to make the hobby more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you can find everywhere. In Germany, for example, many fields are, I wouldn't say afraid, they frightened of bringing the pyrotechnical products because they think that they will mess with organizations like BAM or the Bundes something, I don't remember the name, that's regulating the pyrotechnics within the civilian market. So they even not trying to allow these products, but the companies that allowing the products to be used, they are generating more interest within the players for the game itself, and they having more customers that come into it. So they having the leverage for getting more customers.
Yeah. But I think that's also a two-sided sword. For example, I know fields that allow full auto, and then there's fields who only allow semi-auto. And there is people who say, man, I went there and I get like absolutely Swiss cheese by a guy in CQB with full auto, and I don't want to go to this field anymore because they allow too much, like they don't put restrictions on it. So I don't agree that restrictions are always bad. I think it must be a good, like if it would be a CQB field and the guy shows up with a Taginn grenade launcher, I would probably say, okay, I'm out. Like this is too wild.
Let's go to the field. I will go with grenade.
I mean, you Russian guys would probably go CQB. Man, when I've been to war game, it just absolutely blew my mind on how different Airsoft is in Russia than it is in the rest of the world. It's when people ask me, hey, I want to go to a milsim, what was the most exciting that you've been to? I would say 10 out of 10 Russian milsim. It's absolutely different.
Because everything is allowed here, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's allowed, yeah.
Yeah, look, by the way...
Yeah?
Keep
Go ahead. No, you go first.
Okay, now if we're talking about the Russian airsoft, it is very um, it's going a little bit faster than the rest of the world, and because we have, in the one hand, we have freedom to do actually whatever we want, because everything that not restricted is actually allowed if you're not harming other people, and we are living here um, in a condition of people that trying to interact with government as less as possible,
Hmm.
because all the historical memory, like the Soviet Union and everything that's going on with our government for at least last 100 years. So we're trying to self-regulate everything, and government in the most things, government even happy with it.
Hmm.
That government no need to regulate anything. So if we're talking about airsoft, they're saying, okay, you want to use the pyrotechnics. Actually, you can use fireworks. Like you can buy fireworks and launch it in the Christmas night, for example. In the same way, you can use the pyrotechnics in the airsoft game, but you have to approve these products for the consumer market. If
Hmm.
you have approved it, so we can't see any difference between fireworks that you shooting to the skies with all the safety rules, and if you have your safety rules when you're shooting pyrotechnical device on each other, so you guys are big enough to regulate it between yourself. Just approve it. Just make the certificate for it.
Hmm.
um, and it's why we have to. I mean, the manufacturers and field owners and shops. We have to regulate everything ourselves. And as you mentioned, that if you allowing full automatic on the field and people don't want to come and play there because it's hurt. So fields here in Russia, they are doing like they dividing the day or even dividing players by the days. They're saying, okay, in weekend, the progressive guys, the advanced guys are playing, let's say, Friday night, and
Hmm.
then we're allowing them to shoot automatic. You even can use blanks with laser tag. We call them here fire tag when you just taking the Kalashnikov with blanks and
Hmm.
shooting. It has some laser indication system
Hmm.
like laser tag and playing. It's fire tag. It's very loud and expensive, and you can even use the pyrotechnics and blow each other asses in any way you want. But tomorrow we will have the day for the rookies that will come and use the very soft rules, like a certain distance to shoot, safe distance, um, without full automatic, no pyrotechnics. So I
I think
think it's
that
a smart approach
yeah, it is. It
because
is
it can
because if
satisfy both.
yeah, and also if there would only be the one with blanks and whatnot, I think if someone would want to kind of like try airsoft or try something like this, and he goes there, it's probably like okay, no, with these crazy people, okay, I'm out.
Yeah, you
So
can
I think
tell
that's
them,
good. Yeah, yeah. You start
come
small and you
come and fight
gradually
with
get
us
more
for our
extreme. Yeah,
master.
yeah, exactly. All right. I would like to talk a bit about your battle arena project because I've been following it and I'm really impressed on which professional level you guys have pulled this off. So maybe you can tell the audience a bit first of all what is battle arena actually.
Yeah, actually, Battle Arena is actually an attempt to visualize the game of the Pew Pew and to let players from absolutely different types of shooting games like airsoft, paintball, laser tag, and even video gamers to show like to participate in life. First of all, second to be organized enough inside, and to make a picture of the airsoft games, not such boring as when you're just putting the action cam on yourself. Um, I'm not talking about your footages, because you're doing it like you making scenario, and then you're sitting and making footage there, and people love to see it because it's interesting. But it's
It's not a sports event.
yeah, yeah,
But
and
that's what you guys do, right?
it just you are taking people with you to travel this let's say military tourism with you. Okay, so they looking from your point of view. Now, when you're trying to show the game itself, you have to build it really tidy, and you have to show the picture that people that looking on this picture saying, "Wow, I want to play this game, and I want to." More important, I want to watch it. Okay, so actually, we wanted to make the boring pictures from the footages from like 1 or 2 men, the players that making the footage on the action cam during the game, and just putting it together in chaotic way, just make it beautiful, like professional.
And
So so
I have to say,
actually, the
you
guy who
guys succeed on
started,
this.
the
Yeah.
guy who started, it's a guy that his job is video director. He's directing things. And then he came to play with friends, and as it happening pretty often, he loved the game and started to play it. But when he looked on the videos from the game, he didn't see actually the picture that he seeing, and it doesn't transmit the feelings that he is experiencing when playing this game. So it's all okay. My profession is to make a good picture. So I want to build something now that people will love to see,
Hmm.
even without playing. And the first, the second, and I think even the third um, year, the season of this battle arena was made in Russia, and you can see a lot of video from this project. And then we just accidentally met and decided to take Battle Arena to the international spot. To first of all to unite players from all around the world and make them to share their experience in the game, because it's very important. Like, you know yourself, you have your restrictions in Germany and your region. Americans are having their restrictions. We don't have any restrictions here almost. So it's a different experience. And when you mixing players from all around the world, it's making the hobby itself to be more rich of knowledge. I would describe it this way.
What
So
I very much like about it is that, I always wonder what could make Airsoft bigger than it is. Like what could lift it to the next level. And I really thought about, maybe a competitive league, because every major sport has a competitive league, and it's kind of lacking. Like, you guys started it, and I think the Speed QB guys are doing quite well also. But I really like how this idea of competitive airsoft is being pushed forward, because again, every major sport has it, so we need it as well.
yeah, we also when we started to think of how we are expanding it to the entire world, we've looked at what actually going on in competitive airsoft. I'm personally coming from competitive paintball. I've been playing for 8 years professionally um, within the Israeli national team. We've been traveling and playing leagues of paintball, and then I've seen the speed QB style of the airsoft, and I've just saw the competitive paintball that just switched to an airsoft. And the same problem that I remember from many years ago when the wood paintballers were heading the speedballers and opposite. And I thought that it won't happen again because this spiral is wrong.
Wait, can you explain the spiral again? When the wood paintballers and the
Yeah,
speed
the wood
paintball.
paintballers, the guys who playing in the woods for the
Yeah.
scenario games,
Mm-hmm.
and the speedballers that playing competitive paintball, like as a sport, they hated each other.
Mm-hmm.
They saying, okay, these assholes are running and playing wars, and they saying that they trying to make sport and shooting thousands of paintball in a second,
Mm-hmm.
paintballs in a second, and like um, looking like a clowns with these colorful jerseys
Yeah.
and masks and markers in different colors. It's not looks too military, and we're playing the military games. So I didn't want it to happen in airsoft as well because I saw that it's starting uh, to be like in paintball, like the guys who are playing milsim paintball or
Yeah.
reenacting something. They starting to laugh and be angry on these speedballers and opposite. So one of the ideas it was to take all the players from all the types of airsoft, and as I told before, even from the video gamers and paintballers and everybody, and put them in one project. And it was very interesting and successful experiment because um, in American final, the last one that was in 2019, before all this shit show that's going on in the world, and people could move from country to country. So it was the last one. In the final, we've had 4 teams, 2 milsim teams, and 2 speedball teams. And actually, first at the first place to it was, I don't remember now exactly, but I think the first place was the milsim team, and the second place was the Speed QB team, and then once again the third one was the Milsim, and the last one, the first one, was this Speed QB team. So it showed that it doesn't matter which type of game you are playing, you have opportunity to succeed in this project.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually doesn't make you any benefit if you're playing speedball or Milsim. Whether the
I'm
gear
actually
or
really surprised to hear that. Like, how do you design the game that it is equal? Because I would argue that Speed Softer, in the way he sets up his gear and the way he behaves, is usually in a CQB environment is usually more efficient than a traditional, milsim player who follows, what you learn. I don't know, the military, for example. I do believe that. So
actually,
how come it's still equal? I'm surprised to hear that.
I'll tell you. So it's very balanced. First of all, we were thinking about very balanced scenario.
Mm-hmm.
It was the bunk haze scenario when you have to think, act, communicate, and calculate your next steps all the time. So Speed QB is, I'm calling it, it's like a competitive paintball. It's like the
Mm-hmm.
mixture of ice hockey and checkmate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have to move fast and to make the very quick decisions. In a milsim, you're doing everything a little bit slowly, but you calculating things more further. Like
Mm-hmm.
you think a little bit forward. So, and you more when you're doing something, you're doing it more accurate without too much rush. But and if you need to rush something somewhere, so you're doing that. So, in the meaning of the head-to-head battle, speedballers are more aggressive, and it both benefit and the bad thing for them because they sacrificing themselves and they not such. connected within the team as the milsim players. Okay, and I cannot tell you that milsim players are staying in defense. They also attacking, but they doing it in completely different way, in the army way.
Mm.
So you can we have a lot of videos on the Battle Arena channel, including the game I'm talking about, and you can just go there, and everyone can go there and take a look how it actually looks. It's hard to explain by words. You have to see it.
Yeah. No, maybe I can explain it in a couple of seconds. So when I watched Battle Arena for the first time, it kind of reminded me of I would say it's like a Formula One sports event. Like you have helmet cams on the drivers and on the cars, but at the same time you have like cameras overviewing and you have someone commenting. So it's like a professional sports event. It's kind of like football, but everyone has a head cam. That's what it is for me.
Yeah, it was an idea
Yeah.
to show the game both from the eyes of the players,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very difficult because everything in shaking, and we're not talking about the side creep. We're talking about the entire picture that's jumping, and you have to keep
Yeah.
to make people watching it without vomiting on the screen. You know. Yeah. So we've had to put the cameras in a way it will capture the main areas of the arena in time of action there, and what we have there is the headquarters with director that just standing, and he's seeing everything on many screens, and then he's just standing in the recording booth, and indexing this screen, this screen, this screen, and then now this one, now third, now fourth. Okay,
Is it
it's
live
very,
actually? Is it live?
it's live, and it's live broadcasted. Then we have the finals. When we have having the finals, I'm like 6 games, 6 last games. We making editions then. Okay, so we're taking the video from the helmet cams, because in live you cannot see it. You can see only
Yeah.
environment cams, and then composing, editing the footage of every game, and then we're putting it on the channel.
Yeah.
So I have to tell you that event is taking something like 12 hours. It's
Yeah, I
12
can imagine. I
hours.
mean, do you mean the editing work, or what are you
No,
talking
no,
about?
no. The event itself,
The event itself. Okay.
like the tournament day, taking 2 days, and we're talking about 12 hours of broadcasting every day. Like you have actually 2 days of 10 or 12 hours that uh, that broadcasted live to the net. Okay, so you have to understand also that you have commentators that commenting the game in few languages. So you have a booth with last time we had 2 languages, Russian and English, and we wanted, like, we inviting players from the teams, and they also commenting and helping us, and they commenting on their national languages as well. So it's also the work that we're doing behind the scenes.
You know what? But I'm not sure if you want to talk about this, and also for the editor, we can cut this out. But how is an operation like this financed? I mean, this is a huge undertaking. Like you need multiple people, you need an editor, you need the game areas, people are flying in. Like how is it done by sponsors, or is it done by
No,
like how does this work?
it's we actually have paid until now. We've paid everything by ourselves.
From
As
Taginn or
Taginn and Ballerina, it's for Taginn. It is the good advertising thing, because we are showing people that they not only can come in a weekend and just play, but they can grow as the player, as the person within the project that's going on. It's like you can go to the high league and to show what you can do, or get
Mm-hmm.
some. Yeah. So it's worth for us because first of all it is advertising the brands as the
Mm-hmm.
battle arena and Taginn. Second thing, we are very interested in expanding the airsoft itself as a hobby,
Mm-hmm.
and a very because of very simple reason. As much players we have in this hobby, as much products we can sell.
Obviously. Yeah.
But you know, it's like we want to make it way more safe. We want to make it much more interesting
Mm.
because it's not just interesting to start making products and sell it just like this. In this way, we could sell sleepers, I don't know, or baseball caps, or anything. But we are sick with this hobby because we always want to make something new and to show what else is possible in this industry. For example, we started with projectiles that traveling for 70 meters for the first time. Then when we expanded it to 120 meters, everybody told, wow, so you almost doubled the distance. Then when we came with HPA systems and ML36, well known to you, um, we expanded it to 200 meters and people say, well, how it possible? We didn't think it's you can shoot this thing even further with the same safe measurements. And then we came with our motor that can launch the mine. I will tell you with a very big secret. It can launch the mine for 500 meters, but we just limited it for 300 meters for the consumer market. Because we never want some player accidentally launching the mine into the fish tank on the balcony of some lady just next to the field. So it would be nice. So we just limited it up to 300 meters so far.
Yeah.
And let's see how it turns. We starting to produce and serial production uh, exactly after we will receive all the approvals, and this one is a little bit more challenging than the hand grenades or even projectiles. So we're already waiting for half a year
Mm.
for the approvals, both in Europe and the United States. But I think we're close to the day that we will receive it, and then we're starting the serial production. And once we starting to ship these products, we don't want to face the situation when the airsoft will be banned because of our products. So we always on the very thin line. It's why we limiting and testing everything on ourselves. So you know we want to change the game itself to the better, but don't want to harm.
Mm.
And so far, we've been succeeding.
I agree. Yeah. I'm actually not sure if you could be the reason to ban airsoft because it's not really what how airsoft is defined. Like people still see airsoft as okay, it's you have some kind of thing that propels a BB out the barrel. Yeah. So I think if you would step, you know, if there would be some shit hitting the fan, I think it would be just pyrotechnics being removed from airsoft. But
So we
I
don't
wouldn't be
want
too worried.
we don't
Which
want
you also,
that
which you
interfering.
don't want, yeah, obviously, for obvious reasons. Yeah. So getting back to the battle arena project, man, bringing this up to a like international scale, what is one of the what is the biggest challenge in this for you, or what was one of the biggest challenges that you had to
Oh
overcome?
man, the biggest challenge was to understand what actually players need in this project. It's the last game in the last international final in Helsinki, Finland, um, happened between 16 countries.
Hmm.
So everyone, every team that coming from a particular country went through the local games, local league that actually defined who is the best battle arena team in the particular country. Then they came to Helsinki, and we faced few things. The first thing was really great. People started before the game started. The people started to unite, to talk to each other, to laugh, to drink beers, to go out somewhere in Helsinki. But when the competition days are started, people just turn to the players turn to the persons who are very tough, and they willing to win in almost any cost. So our first idea was to let them call the hits as much as possible without using too many referees. Okay, without you know the high interaction of the referees within the game.
Hmm.
But in few games, we just understood that people would do everything to stay in the game and to proceed to the next steps. And it's even taking them to not calling hits,
Hmm.
as we thought that if people coming to represent the country, they uh, will be afraid more than they will be caught on cheating, rather than fall on some stage of the
Yeah. Hmm.
competition. So we've been wrong, and we've had a very good lesson that referees are supposed to watch every player like in any other game, and the competition, it's not just a friendly game. It's a game that people are coming with a lot of nerves, with a lot of anger, even if they're not showing it, and a lot of let's say with lack of self-control in certain situations. And
Hmm.
then also after it, it's led to some international um, problems, like the guys from Poland being mentally attacked from the viewers from other countries, and the guys from Israel thought that they've been um, removed without a reason from the game, that they lost to a team from Japan or from China, I don't remember. So it was a lot of nerves, and even the American team just withdraw from the game just because they thought that the referees are like overjudging them, like taking them out. They gave referees gave more strikes to American team more than to other teams because of some broken rules, and then guys just took their packed their stuff and just left the tournament.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, the tension, the nerves and the tension was so high that the project almost failed. It was really a nightmare behind the scenes.
Yeah. I think it is. You do see this in every major sport. Like if you play football with your friends, not a problem. Okay, all of a sudden it's an international league. Now people actually start, falling over legs that weren't there in the first place, and
Yes.
like they do everything it takes to win. And I think that's. I mean, if you play paintball, you probably know best. Like in the paintball leagues, like the guy who cheats the best wins, basically. Or
Yeah,
it's a
it's like
big part
your
of the
coach
game, man.
saying you wipe before he wipes.
Yeah, exactly. How do you wipe off paint the most efficiently? Like that's how you win.
Yeah, but you're talking about professional sportsmen. When you're talking about the first time or second time, the first time in this scale
Yeah.
of the mm, competition for this sport, for airsoft, and people are not professional. They come in for the first time. They are scouts
Yeah.
of the competition, and they don't know how to behave. They don't know what is uh, which action will bring them to shame or to glory. Okay, they don't
Yeah.
know. They actually coming with a lot of efforts to be to looks nice and to play well and to be nice with everybody, but our human being feelings are such a bitches that's ruining everything.
I guess competition, like an open competition, shows the worst in human nature.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
what you've been
storm of feelings.
struggling
It's
with.
like everybody, you can count people, the players came, players, the crew, the battle arena crew, the organizers, the guys from the arena in Helsinki, everybody. They just we all have been drained of feelings. Like it's like like the
Yeah.
empty eggshell. Nothing inside.
So how you gonna? I mean, you already came so far. Like, how you gonna? How are you moving forward with this? How are you gonna fix it?
Okay, what's going on now today? In first of all, the I didn't want to mention it, but the COVID quarantine, whatever you believe in it or not, just stopped the life for 2 years in the
Mm.
meaning of traveling and crossing the country. So it's actually changing or making us unable to keep making the battle arena in the same format so far. But we
Mm-hmm.
know and we understand that this thing will stop, like everything in our lives is going to an end. So the quarantines will end, and people will start traveling between the countries again. So we took this time to revise and review all the concept of the battle arena. And what we're doing now, we now finishing the platform, very professional, automatic platform for the battle arena. When teams will be register themselves, you will see all the games. You will see all the statistics. Like you can go down to the statistic of each player that ever played in battle arena. You will see part of the leagues. You will see the live tournaments just on the site itself. We're just rebuilding everything, and we are starting to think. Not to start. We are starting to build the battle arena in a way that we're making separate competition, like we're making the series of the games around the world, but it won't be like we did before, when you have to define the best team in the country and then the best team coming to the international finals. So we're making it as the competition with different levels of players.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so every time it will be completely another and separate tournament, not a league that's lasting for a year.
Mm-hmm.
So we will announce it very very soon.
How do you think you can tackle the cheating problem? Do you think more referees is gonna fix it and just trace us, or do you have some other way of?
First of all, cheating problem, to eliminate it like for 100%, you just have to give players the real guns, and then you have no any any cheating problems.
Give them a Taginn, give them a Taginn launcher.
Play with launchers. No, we came to decision that we have to take really aggressive referees, like in paintball. If you will take a look on
Mm.
the paintball competition, you will see that if someone having a hit, the referee jumping on it, flattening on him, and not letting him play, covering and taking out the field if the player doesn't do it himself. And penalties, like in any competition. It's like you've got a hit, you didn't call your hit, you and your nearest friend leaving the field until the end of the round, for example. Yeah, I'm telling you, we just tried to be as nice as possible because we thought that this competition is actually the competition of friends and the people that thinks in the same way, same direction. But nothing will change apes like we are, and it's working like in any other sport. So we just took off the pink glasses and we'll go forward with the very regular things like
Nice.
tough refereeing.
I'm excited. I'm excited when the series starts continuing again. I'm sure gonna follow it on YouTube. I really, when I saw it for the first time, I was like, that's what Airsoft needs. This is exactly what we need in this sport. Yeah, we need to bring it to the next level. So thanks, Marc, for pushing through all these challenges and barriers.
Yeah,
I can imagine that it's super tough to do.
We are going to renew this year, and this project will kick some asses. Yeah, I believe it's one of the branches of Airsoft in future. Like you will have Milsim, you will have Speed QB with the trainings, KWA, by the way, they're running their own competitions as well.
Yeah.
And we will have another branch, which is actually Battle Arena. I don't know if it will work, but I would like this branch to be the branch that uniting everyone, all the types of the game, and will be the most important competition in the year.
Nice.
That everybody wants to come and compete.
All right, everyone. We are getting towards 1 hour. So before we ending the podcast, Marc, can you tell the people where they can find Battle Arena and also where they can find information about Taginn and the products?
Yeah, the Battle Arena can be found at www.battlearena.io. It's an old website right now there, but in few weeks we will just change it for a new platform. And Taginn products might be found at www.airsoftpyrotechnics.com. You're going to where to buy section, and then you will find your local distributor or dealer, and go there, buy the products, dominate the game, enjoy it in the first hand.
All right, everyone. That was Marc Butman. Marc, thanks for joining. And hope to see you again in Russia at some point, or here around in Europe.
I believe we will see each other many times, not only in Russia.
It's a small industry.
But everywhere we are meeting time to time.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, Chris. Bye. Thank you guys. Bye bye.